Jennette Barber Perry Lee was an American writer and teacher of philosophy, rhetoric, and composition. Born in 1861 in Bristol, Connecticut, the daughter of Philemon Perry and Mary Barber, she graduated from Smith College in 1886, teaching philosophy, rhetoric, and composition until 1890 at the Grant Collegiate Institute in Chicago. Between 1890 and 1913, she served as professor of English in Vassar College, College for Women Western Reserve University, and Smith College. In 1896, she married clergyman and writer Gerald Stanley Lee. She died in 1951. In 1900, she proceeded to write, releasing some popular novels, detective fiction, and children's books. In 1922, she published Uncle Bijah's Ghost, seemingly her only fantastic work. Taking place in the summer of 1920, the distant relations of old Bijah Bowen come out to take possession of the old man's house after he had died, the house being in the family for some 160 years. The party is led by his nephew, Phineas, a failed writer and businessman, hoping to finally find success as a farmer. Accompanying him are his son Richard and his daughters Phoebe and Alice, along with their Irish housekeeper, Annie Shee. One of the first things they do is to quote-unquote exorcise Uncle Bijah by burning all his belongings, except the few things they want to keep for the Salvation Army. Yet in a strange way, Uncle Bijah still seems to be present about the house, with everyone expecting him to just come around the corner at any moment. One night, Phoebe is trying to go to sleep when what she thought was depression due to the coming storm turns out to be a sudden feeling of panic, which at first seems inexplicable until it culminates in something touching her in the darkness. When the storm abates, Phoebe finds out that the magazine she had taken to read before she was interrupted contained a narrative of a man gripped by some terrible, unseen force that eventually kills him, which she at first considers only a story, but then she finds the margins filled to the brim with Uncle Bijah's handwriting, containing a plethora of notes. In these notes, Uncle Bijah writes of a powerful force, vowing he would not be destroyed by it, along with some other cryptic hints, such as claiming a cat's presence in the room manages to disrupt the presence of supernatural forces. When she further reads through the notes, Phoebe finds a connection to the seemingly strange, useless platform built into the front of the house, leading into mid-air. This platform was in fact the site of an unseen battle with this nameless force, fought by Uncle Bijah many times, and is tied to a series of strange rumours about the house and the way in which Bijah Bowen died in the first place, which is rumoured to have been something more than natural. This all helps to form a genuine atmosphere of rising dread as we learn more about old Bijah, especially when the family finds certain remains which seem to indicate that he had worshipped strange gods. However, at about 2/3 of the way through the book, all action grinds to a halt, and we have Phineas going on an endless tirade as concerning elementals and mental impressions on objects, implying there was never a supernatural force to begin with, but that this was basically non-sinister poltergeist activity radiating off of some emotionally charged objects in the house, meaning the whole narrative of Uncle Bijah fighting a mental duel with some bizarre, malevolent force which was summoned via a platform leading nowhere is thrown out as being just wrong. It effectively kills the whole atmosphere, so intriguing before, as we never have any of the previous mysterious and supernatural events recur, and instead the last few pages of the book are taken up with a treasure hunt, with the family digging below one of the trees and finding a metal object that contains some of Uncle Bijah's money. I have no idea why the author decided to destroy what she had been building up for 3/4 of the book, but I did not like it at all. This was an absolute bloody waste.